Hello, everyone. This is Judah Bernard with the Rise Creating Your Voice going live. I am in an undisclosed location, but we'll talk about problems, issues, and situations. And we want to make sure that we are talking about this. This is season 3, episode 7, and I want to invite Katie Walker Burthardt in, and we're just waiting for her to come in and making sure that we're giving you the right information at this particular time. How are we doing today? That is the number one question. How are we doing? How are we doing? How are we doing? Each and every one of us, how are we doing? How are we doing? How are we doing on each day? So we got to remember that. We got to remember that in what we do is make sure that we're addressing our problems, issues, and situations. I'm actually here at an undisclosed location where I just got through with funeral arrangements for my uncle, and the biggest thing for me in that problem, issue, and situation hey, how we doing? Hey, Kate, how are
Hello.
you?
I'm
You see, I got
good.
dressed up of your occasion.
I know.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Busy.
Yes,
Been busy.
I know. We're just going and going and going. Once again, I want to introduce those who don't know. We were supposed to be three's a company. Now I guess we're two. And we just want to give homage to our friend Micah and praying for her strength and praying for whatever going on in her life. That just continue to keep being motivated, working on those
Yep.
problem issues and situations as we talk about every day throughout the day. We want to
Absolutely.
congratulate Katie on her new business and her new adventures
Thank
and her new
you.
entrepreneurship. I'm excited and
Thank
just
you. Thank
glad
you. Oh,
to
wait. I
that
think I
she could
can
be
share
able to
this.
talk with us today. So, I just want to welcome everybody to season 3, episode 7, which is problem issues and situations, because we understand that problems, issues, and situations come aboard us every day. And what do we
hmm
do about them? So I want to take it over to Katie so she can actually talk about her new entrepreneurship and what she does as well right now.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just sharing this live so that some of my friends will join us.
Right.
If you're on the live, let us know. Comment, say hello.
Yes.
Um, And so, hello, I'm Katie Burthardt. I'm sure that hopefully you remember Micah and I when we did our last live.
Yes.
We hope we're memorable,
Yes, you
that you
are. You're
don't
very
forget us.
memorable.
So yes, I actually just, Micah and I kind of took a step back from New Nissan Life because Micah had some, things going on in her life, and it
Yes.
just, when you talk about alignment and what's in alignment with your vision and your goals, it was like we both kind of had to take a step back. I know Micah has some really exciting ideas on what she's going to
Yes.
be working on, but I
Yes.
can't share them yet.
Yeah.
But as far as me, I just launched my coaching business, which is called
Yay.
Authentic Intuition. And so what I am my title per se is an intuitive empowerment coach and self-care advocate. I advocate for self-care. You have got to take care of yourself
Yes.
if you want to help others. You cannot pour from an empty cup. I'm sure many people have heard that before.
Yes.
You cannot pour from an empty cup. So unless you are pouring into yourself and doing the things that are feeding your soul and your mind and, staying physically active and doing the things that take care of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you are not going to be able to help anyone else. And so really, my coaching aspect of it is, I help women really kind of step into their authentic self. Who are you beyond your roles as a mom, a wife, a daughter, a sister, an aunt? Like, we get all of these roles placed on us, early in life, like, oh, I'm the middle child, or
Yes.
oh, I am this, I am that. And that's not who you are. There's a C.S. Lewis quote that says, you you don't have a soul. You are a soul. You have a
Mm-hmm.
body.
Yes.
So who you are is your soul. So who are you on a soul level? You're
Yes.
more than just all of these roles that have been placed on you in this human life experience. Um, and so I really help women kind of like draw that out. Like, who are you? Come on. Like, no, don't tell me. Like, I feel like when, sorry, I'm kind of getting distracted, but whenever you go into a job interview and they say, tell me about yourself, most people are like, oh, well, I'm married. I have 2 kids. Like, they start with that. Like,
Yes.
for women anyway, it's like they totally bypass, um, what they do for as them, as their person. It's like they're attached to all these other identities. And so really it's just getting back to like, who are you? And I'm going to help you, one, figure out who that is. I'm going to help you pull out of you. And second, I'm going to help you figure out how to function with it in your everyday life. So.
And how do one get that information? Because one thing is what we don't understand that for me, and I say I had to go through this personally because
Mm-hmm.
basically you're so tapped into the social stigmas and
Yes.
what people want you to be.
Yes.
And when you talk about soul, who are you as far as your soul?
Who am I?
Where's your soul? No, I'm just saying in
Oh, yeah.
general to people that's on the line. Who are you in your soul?
Yeah.
Because like you talked about, people say, "Oh, well, I work here." That's not your soul.
Mm-mm.
That's your temporary situation.
Yeah.
What are
And
you?
I
Go
think
ahead.
people get stuck in these temporary, like, this is our temporary home. We're human
Yes.
for a short amount of time.
Yes.
Um, and there's tons of theories beyond, you know, um, this life, what is after, um, you know, and what you believe in, that, and that's totally fine.
Right.
But who are you now? Who is your soul now?
Yes.
Who is
And
that?
but being in your soul presently.
Mm-hmm.
That's important. Being in your soul presently. I was talking to a
Yeah.
cousin of mine, and was going through past year trauma and things like that. And like I told her, any particular day is, where's your happiness? Where's your
Mm-hmm.
peace outside of what happened in the past? Not saying I'm
Right.
minimizing what happened, but then again, where's your future in your past?
And what lights you up?
Yes.
What lights you up? Um, and I think too, like, I mean, we could definitely go down the rabbit hole of like in the past and things that have happened to you.
Oh, yes.
Um, but those are building blocks to get
Yes.
you to your ultimate future, because
Right.
you have to go through things
Yes.
in order to be able to serve at the level that you were created to serve.
Pete, would you mind repeating that? Because I think they need to hear that
Yes.
again.
You have to go through things in order to serve at the level you were created to serve.
And the
That's
thing
true.
is, what people don't understand from an aspect of that, of what you're saying is, sometimes you haven't reached your full potential.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna break it all down. So in order for you to reach your full potential, you have to have these stumbling blocks to build you up to your full potential. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying a stumbling block, but some stumbling block. It might
Right.
be 3, it might be 5, it might be 25. So
Right.
it's not about you counting, but recognizing your stumbling blocks to pull you to your full potential.
Right.
Yeah.
And in reality, like, we are living a human experience. And in this human experience, you know, um, there are things that are in this world, like ego,
Mm-hmm.
um, and depression, anxiety, and like all of these things that we
Yes.
battle every day or have to go through. They are of this world,
Yes.
but it doesn't define who you are.
Yes.
It's just something that you're going through so that you in turn can help another soul get through their journey.
Because we all have a fulfilling purpose of helping each other.
Yes.
So the thing is, if your pride or your ego is in the way, how can you help someone else?
Right.
If your hurt
Right.
continues to beyond hurt,
And I was so
how
funny.
are
I
you
was,
helping them with your hurt?
yeah.
So I am so glad that we're having this conversation, because the biggest problem that I have with problems, issues, and situations, some people don't know how to come out of their problem, issue, or situation.
Right. Right.
So how can we assist them in coming out of it?
So, I mean, obviously that really depends on the problem.
Yes.
It depends on what you're talking about. But the biggest thing, before you can get out of any problem situation, you have to acknowledge it. You have to acknowledge that there is a problem and that there is a
Yes.
situation that needs fixing.
Yes.
And then, once you acknowledge that the problem is there, then you can seek counsel.
Yes.
Something that I do for myself, if I have a situation, I have what I like to refer to as my counsel.
Mhm.
And I call them my counsel, and they are like my closest friends. Okay.
Yes.
So the people that I am very, very close to,
Mhm.
which is a very small group of people
Yes.
that I consult, because I know that they are not going to tell me something I want to hear. They're
Mhm.
going to tell me what I need to hear, whether I want to hear it or not. They're going to be, but they're going to be loving.
Mhm.
And so if I go to someone and I say, am I the bad person here? Like, am I like overreacting to this situation? They're going to look at me and say, well, Katie, maybe you should look at it from this point of view. And like, so they really help play like that devil's advocate, and like,
Right.
what if this, or, give me a different perspective on
Mhm.
things. And so it really allows room for you, like when you have those people in your life, they're essentially like the mirror
Yeah.
that gets held up in your face.
Yeah.
Yes, they love you, but then they take the mirror and they hold it up in front of you so that you can see, yeah, I don't really like that. So let me
Right.
figure out how to fix it.
So in it,
Um,
I think the important part of me is how you make sure that you input it, that you have to accept that you have a problem.
yes. You have to accept, and you have to be willing to want to change,
Mm.
or fix it.
That's
You
important.
know, um, you're never going, people are never going to change unless they want to.
Want to.
They have to want to grow, they have to want to learn, and they have to want to become, a different, or expand themselves as a person.
And so, um, I think people need to understand that change is inevitable.
Yes.
And sometimes we have to recognize change.
Hmm.
And when you're willing to change, and we're not saying that it's going to happen overnight,
Right.
it's a process.
Right.
But you got to be willing to go through that process. And when things don't work out in that change, find another process within that change to make sure you're still changing.
Right.
Um,
Well, like being a lifelong learner, like there's always
mhm.
something new to learn. Or there's another like little quote that I love, and it's like, if you want something you've never had, you have to do
Yes,
something you've never done. And so, people are like, oh, I want my life to be better. Like, there's got to be more to life. Well, there is.
yes.
But here's where you are. Okay. This is what I like to call the comfort zone.
Hmm.
And the incredible things and the exciting things and the
Yes,
things that God has planned for you or wants for you are all outside here, outside of this comfort zone. And so unless you push yourself out of the comfort zone,
hmm,
things aren't going to change, and things are never going to get better, or you're never going to different.
are you there?
Hmm. I think it
Okay,
kind
just
of
make sure.
like,
Yeah, it did a little, that thing. But at the
yeah.
end of the day, I want people to understand that, coming from Katie and I, we have to understand that in order to change, or in order to understand your problem, issue, or situation, You have to accept that you have a problem, issue, or situation.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, in order for change to happen, you must have the desire to want to change.
Right.
The third thing is that if you see in that process that you're not changing in the way you thought you would want to change, then you can choose another process to change as long as you
Mm-hmm.
stay on target and noting what that change particularly is.
Right. Yeah, and there's
But
not one path to,
no,
there's never one way. There's always there's always different ways to get to
yes,
where you want to go.
yes. So,
And sometimes I think that, when you're going along and you're working and you're doing your thing and you kind of come up against a roadblock, or it
mhm,
feels like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to make it through. That is um, God, because that's what resonates with me. Spirit, source,
yes,
creator, whatever you want to call it, whatever resonates with you.
yes.
That to
Source,
me,
whatever you want to call it.
yeah, whatever. That to me is God saying, pivot. There's another way.
Yes.
This
And
way's blocked for a
I might
reason.
want to take you on a shorter route.
Right. It could be a shortcut, or there could be another lesson you have to learn in
Yeah,
order to help someone else who's going to find you, and they need this from you. And you're the only
exactly.
person that can help them with that.
Right, right. So
Yeah.
I know we don't want to talk long, and we don't want to keep everybody else in with any questions, any comments that's out there for those who
Because
are
we could talk forever.
yes, because we could talk
Okay.
forever. And we will have more because sometimes we need
Mm-hmm.
more of these in order to sustain the whole mass because sometimes you just don't get this realness and truth and transparency from people you're around.
Right. And
And
here's the thing, you are a sum of all of the people you are surrounded by.
uh-oh.
And so when it's true. So if
Yes, it
you
is.
want change, you might have to change the people that surround you, that
Mm,
you interact with in your daily life. Um, and so seeking help from somebody outside of that group is
yes,
always helpful, because sometimes you need an outside perspective.
yes.
And really, the only way to change your perception of things is to change your point of view.
Mm. POV, point of view. POV. We're throwing out so many
Eric,
gems. I don't want to
we
give
did.
away
Eric
all your
Hodges
gems.
commented.
Huh?
Hmm?
Say
What
it
did you
again.
say, Judah? Sorry.
No, go ahead. You said someone
Oh,
commented.
I said Eric Hodges commented. He said, "I'm not fit for this world. I came from another universe, trusting God with happiness. I
He's
see
talking
she's
about your
back."
bag. Your bag.
So funny.
Yes, I had to bring Katie and all this back and understand that. Yes, we could very well say that we're not. I'm not fit for this world. Well,
Yeah.
why are you in it if you're not fit for it?
Well, and
And
that, it's hard because I think everyone struggles with that at some point. Like, why are we here?
yes,
Like, what is the
yes,
point?
yes.
Um,
Why?
why?
Uh,
And for me, the why is, my purpose is to spread light and love to others.
yes,
If you look around this world, there is hurt, there is pain, there is
yes,
suffering. Everywhere there is some sort of that. And, we are called to be, in my belief, we are called to be the hands and the arms and the feet
yes.
of God. And so
Hmm.
God is in us. And
Yeah.
that light is already in you. You just have to access it. You just have to
And
access
I know.
it
Yeah.
and share
I
it.
know you talked about. I know you talked about a light. Stop plugging, and I think I got this off someone. Stop plugging your plug in someone who is not a light.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we can have such a negative charge that your light is not
Mm-hmm.
shining.
Yeah.
So stop plugging in when there is no electricity that you feel in that
Mm-hmm.
person. That's in a relationship.
Yeah.
I
Well, and
don't
if
want to
you
be in
want
a dead
more on that
relationship.
topic
I
about
know.
about
Oh, we'll stop right
negativity,
there.
yeah, if you want more on negativity, if you go to my website, katieburthart.com, I posted another podcast I did where I talked about my healing journey and
Yes.
how I started. Like, I was so negative. That's
Mhm.
all I did was complain. And I was like, what is wrong with me? And it was like just the years and years had built up. And so I think we have all been in that
Oh, yes.
space
Yes.
where we've just been so negative and like, ugh, this is terrible. How are we ever going to get through this? Like, I'm just, whatever. But that is when you have to look at yourself and say, do I want to live like this?
Yes.
And if the answer is no, you're going to have to dig yourself out of the well.
Right. I feel a book coming entitled "No Need to Complain."
That's a good title.
No need. You heard
No
that?
need to complain.
Me and Katie, we co-authoring books. No need to complain. So don't copyright this because this will be on my podcast. I mean, I've already copywritten it. No need to complain. Me and Katie, we writing this book, and we're gonna tell you
copyright
why you don't need to
July
complain.
9th,
Yes.
2021, 2:35
Yes.
p.m.
Yes. By Katie
Central
Walker
Time.
Burthardt and Judah Bernard. So make sure you looking to see this in August 2022.
I'm already on Canva. I'm gonna work on our cover.
Right. No need to complain. Let's go ahead and get the chapters and all that written because
So
this
funny.
is gonna be a book to save a whole lot of lives.
Yeah.
One thing is we want to make sure that we come here because basically that problems, issues, and situations arise so often. But I want you guys to start looking up my co-host right here, Katie Walker Burthardt, on her website. Start tapping into these resources because she is a very intuitive person and knowing what people need in life, just as myself, as I got coined the wisdom dialogue and the motivational warrior. We need this in our lives daily because we're so socially behaviorally learned to be negative, to mope,
absolutely,
to cry, to do this. Yes, those are your emotions, and your emotions are valid, but we were not born for this.
And it's funny. I even have a thing on my website that says you are not your emotions.
Oh, there we go. See,
you are not your feelings. You are not your emotions.
No need to complain.
I actually also have a free gratitude journal that you can download. It's right on the home page, and you don't even have to put your email in. It is my gift. Download it. It's free.
Okay.
And it's a daily gratitude journal.
Definitely just go ahead and give out your email again. We're going to end this live, but
sure. It is
where? Katie?
Katie Burthardt, BURTHARDT. I'll put it in the comments.com.
All right.
I'm going to put it in the comments.
Make sure you guys look her up. I'm sure you do telehealth, yes?
Yes. Everything's done on Zoom.
Telehealth, and because my women especially, talk to other women that know what to do. And I'm not just shouting out to my women, my men too as well. Because
you need your tribe. You need your tribe of people. Of people.
Start developing your tribe.
I mean, like I said, you are the sum of the people that you surround yourself with.
Yes.
And if you want to up-level that, you've got to surround yourself with people who are going to support you and who are going to lift you up.
Yes. So for those who don't know, I am Judah Bernard with the Rise Creating Your Voice podcast, motivational warrior and wisdom dialogue of the Rise. I just want you to know that we thank Katie Walker Burthardt for being here.
Thank you.
And we always say, tell a friend, tell a phone, tell your spouse, heck, tell everyone, and we'll see you on the next podcast.
Thank you, Judah, for doing this. This is amazing that you are putting this out in the world.
We will have you back on, Katie, because we need to have more conversations like this. And we all, I got another ram in the bush too as well, and I want to talk to you about that because some other things to talk about too.
Absolutely.
I just think, pairing together, we can conquer the world, but then you know what? It's about one accord in your mind too as well. So,
absolutely.
Love you.
Thank you. I love you.
And I mean it, okay?
Bye.
Bye-bye.